Hey everyone, Diamond Deb back here with you in Diamond Dust, and I've been busy. I have not had an episode out in a couple of weeks, I apologize, and that's just for current people, not future. I have been busy. I added a restaurant. I have finished adding a few more details to the area, and life in general has just been busy, I am sorry. This is the outside seating for the restaurant. This is where they put their trash, and I just kind of wanted it to look like a typical fast food restaurant, but with some color, man. To me, they're all seeming to go gray. I put a crap ton of seating, but still tried to allow a nice aisle area. Another trash bin area here. And this is where you order from. The daylight sensors just seem to be the best ideal for me on that. They don't serve a ton of food here, but that might be reserved for another fancier restaurant that we might put over on the other side of the motel. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with this. The back side is just your typical kitchen with your ovens and your stoves and your cooktops, because that's the best way I know how to make a cooktop. Oh. And they have their own trash bin out here. It is getting dark, isn't it? And seating area for the employees. And now let's look at some of the other details that I have done. I added a parking lot in the back here. I am considering adding industrial down there. So I might just keep it, like it is. And I think it'd be a good idea to have some steps here so they could have access to some of the stuff up here, like maybe the pop machines over here. We added a trash can for the motel. We've added this and this over here because they got to come in and get the trash cans, right? I added this cutesy little seating area here, which couldn't see very well there, but someplace just to sit and get some fresh air. We do have the sea coming up in here. Some of the things that I plan in the future, because I haven't done a lot else unless you count that I added signs for each store and numbers for each room. Not sure if I told you that one. So some of my future plans, I believe, are going to be expanding this beach. I've got so much landscaping to do over here, but I want to expand this beach over this way. I don't know how far, but I definitely want there to be more beach here on the water. And I'm thinking about maybe doing some little cabins over here just for the beach area. There'll be a little cabin, beach rentals. I think that would be cute, at least on this side. And like I said, a lot of landscaping needs to be done over here. I don't need everything on the same level. That's not necessary. But I don't want it to go up too fast or too much at one point. So I've got a shit ton of landscaping to do, especially over that way. And then I got to figure out what else I want up in here. There's a lot of land up in here. It stretches all the way up that way. And I just thought this would be a good place for a city. And we've got a pretty daggone good start on that city. And you can see the village from over here. I will eventually connect a road from here to the village. It's probably going to be like a secondary road. I don't necessarily think it needs to be the brick. But you never know. It's not like that village is not worth a road. It's up there quite a bit. This is probably just going to be treed in and decorated a little bit in the water, lily pads, stuff like that. Because I want some sort of a barrier between this and the industrial area. And that's really it that I've got for this episode, other than to tell you that my goal for the foreseeable future is to try to make better videos for you instead of, have quality instead of quantity. And I do feel like I do a pretty good job on this series, but I am drowning in stuff now. I've started my second channel, blah, blah, blah. And that channel is probably only going to be posted on once a month because it is definitely story-based and it has a lot of work put into each episode. So yeah, I just want to continue what I'm doing here. We will spread out throughout this world. It's a forever world. We're always going to be building. But I'll try to do my best. I'm probably going to cut how many things that I do on here in a week. 2 to 3 episodes is probably what you're going to end up with. And honestly, I think that's okay. I think that's going to be all right for what we're doing. I just want to be able to provide quality videos, like I said, instead of quantity. And I have been working so hard on quantity on this channel. So anyway, guys, this is the new thing. That's all I got for you this episode, and I will see you in the next one.